Alrighty, time for another update. I'm doing really well. My therapist and I are working together very hard and things are going well, so I'm very happy with my progress. Um, yeah, I'm very happy with my life right now. The topic of this video, though, is going to be how to not be an ass to your friends who have an eating disorder. Because one of my friends recently relapsed in her anorexia, and she's like, people don't really know how to act around us. And once you tell them, then it can be a pain in the butt to have to deal with it. So here's some tips how to not be an asshole. Um, Tip number one, don't question whether or not the person has an eating disorder. Especially if they're not super skinny yet. Don't tell them, oh, you're just dedicated to your weight loss. Because that's not true. Losing 20 pounds in 2 weeks is not healthy no matter what you're doing. And even if they're a normal size or a normal body weight, they could still have an eating disorder, and you questioning its existence is just making it worse. Tip number two is to not be judging other girls by their body size. I have a friend who constantly walks around and is like, how does that girl have a boyfriend and I don't, she's fat? Or, so-and-so has gained a lot of weight. Oh, that's great for my psyche, because I don't already have enough problems with the fear of gaining weight, but now I feel like everyone's judging me. So, if you're going to be doing that, just don't hang out with us. Third way to not be an ass is to not push food on us. Trying to get us to eat more and more is just going to trigger worse symptoms. And especially if we're working on our own meal plan and you're questioning it, that's not going to help. Yeah, that's third tip. What else is there? Don't comment if we start gaining weight, because that means we're starting to eat normally, but it'll freak us out. So even saying things like, you look healthy today, or, oh, you're getting your shape back, is not going to be helpful. It's going to be very detrimental to our health. It's going to make us feel like we've gained 10 pounds or 20 pounds overnight, and it'll probably trigger worse things. Other than that, I mean, generally just don't act like the person's a bad person because they can't eat. And don't say, just eat. Like, why don't you just eat? Because it's not that simple. It's not that easy to just be like, I'm just going to eat. It's not. And telling people to just do that is not going to help. Also, with trigger foods. I get triggered by a lot of sweets. Cupcakes are really bad. Don't encourage restriction. Because I had one friend, I explained to her about my bulimia, and she's like, well, let's just try to go a month without any sweets. Well, that's not helpful at all, because that's encouraging the restriction. So, I mean, basically just try to be as understanding as you can and don't do things that are going to piss the person off. Obviously, their body image issues are bad enough as it is that judging other girls by their weight is not going to help. It's terrible. And I just wish more people could be more understanding about it and just be more careful about what they say, because even for people that don't have an eating disorder, talking like that is the wrong mindset for people to be having. Because some people can't control their body weight. Some people are just naturally bigger, some people are naturally smaller, and we have to accept where we're at. And if we go around calling other people fat and calling other girls fat, that's just perpetuating this culture that we have that glorifies being so skinny. And maybe if we would try to build each other up a little bit instead of tearing each other down, then we could eliminate some of this competition and some of this lack of self-worth because you're not a size 2. So, sorry, that was kind of an angry rant, but it's something that's been frustrating to me lately, especially with the friend that calls people fat or doesn't understand how that girl can have a boyfriend. It's just, maybe she's a nicer person than you. Maybe she's not out judging people based on their size or weight. Maybe she's really smart. Maybe she's very kind. you know, it's not all body image. Um, Other than that, I mean, I got a message from a girl who wanted to know how I knew what triggered my eating disorder. And I guess I don't really know exactly. There's not a pinpoint in what triggered my eating disorder. And there's no one to blame. And I don't want to place blame on anybody. So I don't want to say any particular events that could have triggered it, because it really is my own psychological issues, and it's partially a chemical imbalance and it's partial anxiety. So I know when it about started, but there wasn't like a certain trigger point. So anyways, just don't be an asshole, and your eating disorder friends will be very happy with you, especially if they confide in you enough to tell you that they actually have one, because most people are not on the internet advertising it like I am. So just be a nice person, and the world will be a lot better of a place. Till next week. Bye.